What's poppin' knights? It's OnoKage, otherwise known as the King, and I come to you with another exciting part 2. What if the Uzumaki clan survived? I'm bringing the energy today. It's been a while. I'm happy to be back. I hope you're all happy to have me back. So, a few things before we get to the chapter. Like usual, first I want to shout out my butt for catching on to my routine. You the GOAT, bro. Now, if you notice something, the audio quality of this video is probably going to be a bit different on my voice. Simply because I'm not in my apartment anymore. I'm back at my mom's. I'm in her basement recording this so I don't bother every single person in this house. And with that being said, I don't have the soundproofing that I had before. If you need a bigger update on what's happened to me and everything I went through, check out the most recent video before this one. It kind of goes over everything that's happened. Other than that, the army was great. I'm super happy to be back though, and I've met a lot of cool people there. Actually, one was in the comment of the previous video. If you see him in the comments, is Ron G. That's Romeo Oscar November Space Golf G, and he was my battle buddy in my platoon, and we were in Alpha platoon. We were in 4th platoon Punishers, and it was really cool that he actually shouted out "Go Punishers" in that thing. So, go Punishers, and without further ado, let's get into it. Woo!
Whoa. I'm about to go call me a brick, crushing your whole little shit. Whoa. Mars so cold, I pull up on cop with the blow. Now I'm like, whoa. She a brick on the low. Now she want suck on my toes, and I'm like, whoa. You a bummy asshole. Now you want sit on my throne. Nope. Bitch, I'm the king in the house so cold. Pull up on a nigga with the 9-no coat. Spray and pray that the picture go. Kill me a nigga with a Bible poem. She say stop, don't go no more. Well, she my queen, can't treat her wrong. We don't fuck on, we just run on like my dog, bro. We don't slow up. Rundy, now she wanna fuck me. Now she wanna hold me down like a Duffy. I can see her, I can see her. My shot ring gun don't let me run. I'm a demon, I'm a beast. No, I can't stop. I'll spray. Hey, whoa, hey, bitch, I'm the king of this shit.
We pick up right where we left off. Minato has his kunai to the Raikage's throat as he speaks into his ear. So, Lord Raikage, what is the reason for this assault on my village? You must know there will be repercussions. The Raikage charges his lightning aura, forcing Minato back, but not before he places the seal, allowing the Raikage to gain some distance as he yells, "Yes, Hokage, but someone made me an offer I can't refuse." And as that said, Minato sees 3 beams of light aimed right at his head. He jumps back while slashing at the Raikage using his seal that he placed to avoid the attack. As Minato gains some more distance, he catches his breath and forces a smile just to hide his uncertainty. As Darui runs up from behind his leader to stand alongside him, Minato yells, "Why? Lord Raikage, we're at a time of peace. Why do you want war?" And as that said, another one of the Raikage's aides, C, appears healing his wound. And that's when the Raikage stands to yell back at Minato, "Me! Start a war! What foolishness is this, Hokage? This battle, this destruction, stems from your negligence, and that alone." Minato, hearing that, is lost for the moment. He can't begin to fathom what the Raikage means, but he can feel the rage that bellows from his voice as the Raikage points at him. Before Minato can press the accusation, he hears footsteps slowly growing closer, and he hears a familiar yet disgusting voice that cuts the attention from the Raikage. "Indeed, Lord Raikage, I can and will return the lives that were stolen from you due to the Leaf's negligence." Minato, after hearing that voice, can no longer hide his anger. The Raikage, Darui, and C can now feel Minato's compassion fading as he says, "Orochimaru, what lies are you weaving now, snake?" Orochimaru laughs as he looks down on Minato. "Why, no lie at all, Minato. I just told them the truth." Orochimaru stops his posturing as he drops his smile and points directly at Minato. As if putting on a show, he exclaims, "Minato, are you aware that Two-Tailed Jinchuriki was killed?" Minato says no, he wasn't. Orochimaru begins to smile as he continues. Then I assume you're also unaware of her killer. Your former student and the leader of the Akatsuki, Obito Uchiha. Minato yells, That's impossible! And as he does, the Raikage rushes Minato at light speeds, but he throws his kunai in the air to avoid their strike. But as he does, he's hit with a laser circus from Darui. And Orochimaru runs from behind with his sworded hand, slashes at Minato, but he rolls off his back to parry with his kunai on Orochimaru's blade. But as he's preoccupied with this action, the Raikage lands a lariat that forces Minato to the ground. He coughs up blood as his arm is broken. He then tries to teleport away to another seal, maybe to Shinjirou or Fugaku, but he can't, as he exclaims, a four-pronged barrier. I can't reach outside. It would take too much time to break. As he thinks to himself, the Raikage is on top of him, crashing down. He teleports to the seal that he placed on the Raikage's back, but he's hit with another laser circus that this time he's able to block with his kunai. And Orochimaru sends a snake that bites Minato's leg. But as it does, Minato poofs into a cloud of smoke. The real Minato is behind Darui and C, with the kunais at each of their throats. C questions, how? How is that possible? He's been tracking Minato's movements the entire time. Minato frowns as he explains. It's a trick I learned from my son. He calls it the Naruto-style flying Raijin. But I'll call it Godspeed clone jutsu. Let's see how Naruto likes it. But for now, you don't move. He says this, staring directly at the Raikage, who just watches, not wanting to put his subordinates' lives in danger. He knows Minato can react to his speed. If he takes one step, Minato will slash both their throats. But Orochimaru clasps his hands together, and Minato can feel something ominous as two coffins rise from underneath Orochimaru. And Minato sees this. His heart drops as two figures step from their coffins, the first and the second Hokage. Now Minato is truly outnumbered, and finally, outgunned. He has no option but to run. He unleashes the kunai throughout the field. He teleports between them, avoiding the Raikage, Orochimaru, the second and the first Hokage's attacks. The first Hokage transforms the entire field into a dense jungle, destroying Minato's kunai. Minato begins hopping around the tree limbs, placing new seals around, but he finds seals that he didn't place. He yells, "It's a trap!" He jumps back, but there was another seal behind him. He's able to react in time, but couldn't completely avoid the danger as he was slashed across the back. He falls to the ground, beaten. The Raikage, though, is not done. He jumps into the air and does a heel drop onto Minato, but he teleports away, gasping for air as he forces himself to his feet. He looks around to gather his bearings when the Raikage appears behind him. He then backflips over the attack that comes his way. When the first Hokage is above him, he then teleports away and is cut off by the second Hokage. He parries the strike with his kunai but is overpowered. When the pain from his back injury and the pain from his arm overwhelms him, he then deflects the strike, knocking the second off balance. He uses that to escape. He lands onto the tree branches around, but the branches' limbs start to lash out, destroying the area. These attacks are strong, they're fierce, however they're unfocused. They don't entirely know where Minato is right now, so he's able to dodge while placing seals on each one of the branches that attack him. The Raikage notices this area. He rushes at Minato while Darui surrounds him with the laser circus. He then crashes down, but Minato is able to dodge. The Raikage speaks, "Hokage, I'm impressed you've lasted this long, but this is the end." Minato is half dead. He's able to stand. He forces a smile as he says, "Lord Raikage, I understand your anger, but I can't afford to die and leave my village and my son alone." The Raikage growls, "Your village. Yes, your village, ninja. They attacked my land. And yes, rogue or not, that matters little. On your negligence, Hokage, rogue ninja from your village came to my land and massacred hundreds. This is not destruction, nor is it some petty vengeance. This is a chance for you to atone with your lives." A chance to atone? What is he? Not allowing Minato any time to breathe nor think. The Raikage rushes at blinding speeds, faster than before. Minato checks. He can see C and Darui behind the Raikage. He throws his kunai at them. Darui trains his aim on the kunai, but out of it only pops a clone that Darui destroys, and the Raikage is now surrounded by Minato and 10 clones, all holding Rasengans in their one good arm. As he yells, "Godspeed! Rasen Tenko clone barrage!" bombarding the Raikage from every angle, peeling through his lightning armor, knocking him on the ground, injuries all over. He then pulls out one of Shinjirou's kunai and stabs the Raikage in the leg. Now the Raikage is paralyzed. He's unable to move, unable to get back into the fight. Minato then turns behind his shoulder to face Orochimaru and the previous Kage. He's gasping for air. As the Kage jump down at him, the first launches a wood dragon, and the second a water dragon. Minato jumps, he runs along the wood dragon, then the water dragon crashes down. Minato disappears and reappears from the branch behind Orochimaru and slices at the head of the snake. But it was just a mud clone. The first Hokage's wooden dragon wraps around and slams down on Minato, but that was just another clone. The real Minato is behind Darui and C. He chops down to their necks, knocking them unconscious. He falls to his knees and begins to think to himself, "I only got enough chakra for maybe 2 more jutsu. I might not even make it that far. I'm short on blood. My vision's going blurry. I think the Raikage broke 4 of my ribs. Not to mention the second slashed my back open. I'm down 1 arm." His thoughts begin to flash towards his son, who's been training his heart out, who gave his all during his match, who opened up to him and told him what he's afraid of. He smiles. I can't look bad in front of my son. Besides, I told him his mother's wish. I'm sure I can trust Naruto to carry it out. So Minato stands with a determined look as he begins to prepare the Reaper Death Seal, when he's cut off by Shinjirou and Fugaku. Shinjirou begins to heal Minato's wounds as Fugaku says, "Sorry for the wait, Lord Minato. There were 4 pests that took longer than we expected to deal with. But give us the rundown." Minato was barely clinging to consciousness as he says, "Orochimaru launched his attack, and he's partnering with the sand and the cloud, but the cloud is misguided. I already knocked their soldiers unconscious. Don't kill them." While Fugaku is clearly identifying the threat, that being the first and second, and Orochimaru. He then looks at the downed ninja, the Raikage, and his personal guards. Minato fought 6-on-1 with high-level opponents, with strategies in place specifically to deal with them, and he still took down a few. After he gets his bearings, he yells, "Orochimaru, the third and the Jonin of the Leaf have already dealt with the brunt of your forces, and my son is seeing to the Jinchuriki personally. I give you this option in the Hokage's stead. Surrender yourself for questioning, or die where you stand." Orochimaru begins to chuckle. That chuckle grows into a wicked laugh that would send chills down the spine of a lesser man. He then bares his fangs at Fugaku as he looks down. "Surrender or die. That's your ultimatum, Fugaku. You really don't seem to understand your place in this. Your Hokage Minato is on his deathbed. Shinjirou may be able to close his wounds, but the bones in his left arm are shattered. And his adrenaline may have taken him this far, but his spinal cord was cut as well. Even if healed, he will never be a ninja again." That's when Shinjirou adds, "Brother, I hate to admit it, but he's right. I don't think any medical ninja in this village can heal him. Not now. His body's in a similar state to that boy, Lee, just worse." Shinjirou then uses his Fuingan to seal all the seals that Minato has placed in this area. He then looks and can see the Uzumaki, Karin, Hinata, and Hidate caring for the injured. He then yells at the children, "Karin, where's your mother?" Karin, without breaking her focus from the fight, she yells back, "At the general hospital caring for the bulk of the injured." Shinjirou smiles, saying of course to himself. He then gathers himself. "All right, I have a VIP for you. Make sure you take him straight to the hospital and that he arrives safely. He then forms the hand signs and casts the wind-style Gale Step Jutsu to send Minato's body gently down. When the children see the Hokage beaten and broken, their hearts race, but Shinjirou yells, "Get a hold of yourselves! You have a mission. Take the Hokage and go." And you're gonna hate me, but that's where we're gonna have to end this part today. I know that the parts are usually long as hell. However, I don't have my own space, so I don't have the free time to make the videos exceedingly long. And it sucks. I know, it sucks. But I generally just can't make the videos exceedingly long because people need to use this space. This basement is where all the laundry is, and they have to wash their clothes, especially at this moment. So right now, think of it this way. If I break the parts up way more than normal, you get more parts, which means you get more content, which means you don't have to keep rewatching old videos unless you want to. I mean, do it. I love it. It makes me happy, especially getting new content on older videos. It's really cool. But with that being said, let's talk about the part. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? What you rate it? Snap, give me 1 second. And one thing that has to come back that you know I love doing, my favorite part of the day, the commenter call outs. Let go. And the first comment is just a massive thank you to everyone who messaged off of the most recent video, that being the I'm back video. And it just makes me happy that I can immediately post a video and then I get 30 to 20 comments that just says, "I'm happy that you're okay." That's a really good feeling, and you don't know how much that actually means to me as a person. You know, you hear it every now and again, and then my mom definitely said it to me too, so it's a very warm feeling, and I appreciate everyone who just took time out of their day to make a comment saying, "I'm happy you're okay. Welcome back. I missed your content," and stuff like that. I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you so much. But I do want to thank one person in specific for calling it OnoKage Shippuden. I gotta find the comment real quick. Give me 1 second. I couldn't find it. So, you know who you are. Thank you. You're hilarious. Love you. Now, let's go on to our next comment. That's from the last part of What If Goku and Vegeta Train Naruto and Sasuke. And that is from Jordy's Gaming, who's been commenting a lot because he's been watching a lot of the old videos and it's really cool. So, thank you, Jordy. First comment he said is, "All right, what happened on Sasuke's journey? Were you just like too lazy to speak or..." But I get you, man. I don't blame you. No, it was more just like, I talked on Sasuke's journey. However, it sucks because on that part, it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. But it got copyrighted so goddamn heavy. So what happened when it was Sasuke just basically recruited Roshi to the team. That is essentially what it was. I tried to fix it so many times, but the people were unwilling to work with me, and I tried to talk to him and let him know that it was a free beat and and I was given permission, but apparently in some parts of the instrumental that he made with that beat, it was from another song, and he had no power over that, so there was nothing I could do to save it. I tried to lower it out, but then it just kills what I'm saying, so you can't hear what I'm saying, and then a lot happened, man, and I apologize that it kind of kills the video for you. I'm happy that you still enjoyed the video enough to comment, though, so thank you. Let's go Next comment. Next comment comes to us from What If Goku and Vegeta Train Naruto and Sasuke Part 15, The Coming War. And it says, where's Part 14? I can't find it. So Part 14 is Part 15 and everything is like a number lower because I'm dumb. I'm the big dumb. I'm the big dumb boy. I just skipped number 14. I don't know why, but you didn't miss anything if that makes you happier. And she also, or did I even say your name? Melina Kotstikayan. I'm calling you MK. Also commented, to be honest, this timeline's better than the original. Thanks. I'm happy you like that. I really try to put as much detail into what happens in the story as possible because I think a lot of what ifers just kind of go from major point, and they just kind of skip out on like the smaller things that, you know, add to character building. Because it's easy to be attached to these characters because we already know who these characters are. But the whole purpose of a what if is changing the narrative. So I feel like you have to build up these characters again. You have to understand who these characters are from a really personal level, and then completely abridge them in a different way. And I mean, that's one key thing that I'm trying to do with my what ifs. Like Naruto, I want him to be, in this story, I want Naruto to be a dude who has to learn to find his confidence. That's going to be his big overarching narrative. He's learning to find confidence in who he is. Growing up without a mother. Like, and originally he grew up without a father, but now he has an idea of what parenthood is, and he's missing a key integral part because his dad is always busy. So he has a parent, but he's never around, and he doesn't have this mother to look up to or be with at times. So he's home alone a lot, even though he still has his parents. It's kind of like Boruto if Boruto didn't have Hinata. So, enough of that. So, I'm happy as hell you all enjoyed it. And you don't know how happy I am to be back making content. It's hard, the videos are going to be a little bit shorter for the time being, but you know what? That's good. It's good in a sense that I can now give you more content because I can write my long-ass scripts, cut them in parts, and then give them to you like that. That way I can put 3 new parts up within a span of a week, within a span of like a week and a half, or I can get 2 new parts up in the span of a week. That way y'all get buttloads of content, warehouse of content. White girl content that's cute and snooty. But with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day, a love-filled day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. OnoKage out. Choo.
Nobody speak, nobody get choked. If you run the homie, gonna get smoked. No time for the lame ass jokes. I'm the GOAT. You a gringo when that story's been told. I make money moves, controlling every view. Oh no, you got hella crew, but no one's helping you. What's wrong? Now you on your own, you really want to smoke. Oh no, Chico really done it wrong. What's wrong? The hollow meta in the sky bro. Keep talking crazy, I might go post though. Always trouble when they go too far. Nobody mess with me familiar. Father